A7V Sturmpanzerwagen, the moving fortress. It arrived in 1918 like a steel brick thrown through a window. Germany saw the British Mark IV and panicked. Their answer? A 33-ton box of anger. It is not sleek. It is terrifyingly tall, top-heavy, and unstable. Inside, it holds a record-breaking nightmare. 18 crew members, crammed together like sardines in a blast furnace. Commander, driver, mechanics, and a dozen gunners. The temperature hits 50 degrees Celsius. Men faint from exhaust fumes before the enemy even shoots. It bristles with 6 machine guns and a 57mm cannon, a porcupine of lead. But it was too little, too late. Only 20 were ever built. They tipped over in craters. They broke down every few miles. Tactically, it was a disaster, but symbolically, it has ignited a national obsession with armor. It has planted the seed of the Blitzkrieg. The beast is awake, but it is too slow. Germany realizes it needs to trade armor for speed. Panzer II, the accidental conqueror. It was never meant to be the main character. Designed in the mid-1930s as a training tank, the placeholder while the big cats were being built. But history doesn't wait for readiness. When the war started, this little scout led the charge. It is small, agile. It weighs only 9 tons. Armed with a 20mm autocannon. Against enemy armor, it is basically a pea shooter. But against infantry and trucks, it is a chainsaw. Its armor is paper thin, barely 14mm. A heavy machine gun could hurt it, but it has a secret weapon that steel can't buy. A radio. Every single tank had one. While enemies waved flags, Germans coordinated. It has proven that a wolf pack beats a lone lion. It has swarmed across Europe like a plague of mechanical locusts. It has defined the speed of the Blitzkrieg. But the surprise is over. Enemy tanks are getting thicker. The Panzer II is now obsolete. The Wehrmacht needs a workhorse. A tank that can kill, not just scout. Panzer IV, the spine of the Wehrmacht. While the Tigers get the posters, this machine did the dirty work. Production started in 1936, and it never stopped until the very end. It was the only German tank to stay in production for the entire war. Originally, it carried a stubby 75mm howitzer, good for bunkers, useless against armor. But when the Russian T-34 appeared, the Panzer IV evolved. Germany gave it a long 75mm high-velocity gun, the Lang. Now, it is a tank killer. It is versatile. It is the most widely produced German tank of the war. Over 8,500 units. It is not invincible, but it is everywhere. It has fought in the burning sands of Africa. It has frozen in the meat grinder of Stalingrad. It has proven that reliability beats complexity. It has carried the burden of the war on its chassis. But the chassis was so good, they decided to remove the turret to make something lower, sneakier, and arguably even deadlier. StuG III, the Sturmgeschütz, the sniper without a neck. Germany took the reliable Panzer III chassis and chopped the turret off. Why? Because turrets are expensive, and tall targets get shot. The result is the ultimate ambush predator. It sits low to the ground, like a crouching wolf. It is hard to spot. It is even harder to hit. It packs the same lethal 75mm cannon as the Panzer IV, but with thicker frontal armor. It is not a tank. It is an assault gun. If the driver turns, the whole world turns. Produced in massive numbers, over 10,000 units, more than any other German fighting vehicle. While the Tigers got the fame, the StuG got the kills. It has destroyed more Allied armor than any other German design. It has proven that stealth beats swagger. It has saved the German lines from collapsing time and again. But stealth is for the weak. Sometimes you don't want to hide. You want to be the monster under the bed, the one everyone fears. Tiger I, the heavy box. It arrived in 1942 like a monster from a fairy tale. Hitler's personal obsession. It is 54 tons of vertical steel. It ignores aerodynamics entirely. A rolling brick. But it carries the legendary 88mm KWK-36, originally an anti-aircraft gun. It doesn't just penetrate armor, it deletes it. It kills T-34s from 2 kilometers away, before they even know they are in a fight. Its frontal armor is 100mm thick. Sherman shells bounced off it like ping-pong balls. It created Tiger fever. Allied crews panicked at the mere sight of it. But mechanically, it is a diva. The transmission broke if you looked at it wrong. The overlapping wheels trapped mud and froze solid. It has become the icon of German engineering. Brilliant, lethal, and hopelessly overcomplicated. It has ruled the battlefield through fear alone. But being a square target is dangerous. Physics prefers angles. Germany needs to copy the enemy to beat them. They need a Panther. Panther, the first modern tank. Germany finally stopped building boxes. They looked at the Russian T-34 and learned. Angles deflect shells. Launched in 1943 at the Battle of Kursk. It is sleek. 45 tons of sloped armor beauty. It carries the 75mm KWK-42. Don't let the size fool you. This gun fires faster and penetrates deeper than the Tigers 88. On paper, it is the perfect machine. Fast, armored, deadly. The holy trinity of tank design. But reality is cruel. It was rushed. At its debut, many caught fire before seeing the enemy. The engines leaked fuel onto hot pipes. The final drives shattered like glass. It was a maintenance nightmare. But when it worked, it was untouchable. It has become the blueprint for every main battle tank that followed. It is proven that design beats raw weight. But Hitler didn't want balance. He wanted a mobile bunker. He wanted a king. Tiger II, the King Tiger, the final boss of World War II. It arrived in 1944 like a rolling mountain. Take the thick skin of the Tiger I, add the sloped armor of the Panther, feed it steroids, 70 tons of sovereign steel. Its frontal armor is 150 millimeters thick. Allied shells literally shattered against it. It carries the KWK-43, the long 88. It can slice through a tank, the building behind it, and the hill behind that. But physics is a harsh mistress. Germany gave this 70-ton monster the same engine as the lighter Panther. It crawls. It groans. Moving this mountain stresses the metal until it screams. It destroys bridges just by trying to cross them. It drinks 500 liters of fuel for just 100 kilometers. And in 1944, Germany had no fuel. It has terrified the Allies, but mostly, it has been abandoned on the roadside. A pristine, invincible statue, out of gas. But if you want that same gun without the fat, you remove the turret, and you create art. Jagdpanther, the hunting panther. If the King Tiger was a hammer, this is a scalpel. Arguably the most beautiful tank destroyer ever built. It arrived in 1944. Germany took the excellent Panther chassis, removed the turret, and installed the massive, long 88 cannon directly into the hull. The result? Pure geometric perfection. It is fast. It keeps the Panther's mobility, but hits with the King Tiger's knockout power. The sloped armor continues from the nose to the roof, a simple, unbreakable slope. It deflects shots like water off a duck. Because it has no turret, it has a low profile. Hard to see, impossible to survive. It dominated the hedgerows of Normandy. 3 Jagdpanthers once destroyed a squadron of Churchill tanks in 2 minutes. It has earned the title of the war's best tank destroyer. It has proven that simpler is often deadlier, but sanity was leaving the building. Germany didn't want efficient anymore. They wanted impossible. They wanted a land ship. Panzer VIII Maus! German humor is rare, but here it is dark. The heaviest tank ever built in human history. Designed in 1944 by Ferdinand Porsche, it weighs 188 tons. That is 3 Tiger Is stacked on top of each other. It carries a massive 128mm naval cannon. It doesn't just kill tanks, it erases zip codes. But physics fought back. No engine could move it effectively, so they built a complex hybrid diesel-electric drive. It crawls at a painful 13 kilometers per hour. It destroys every road it touches. Bridges? Forget them. It is too heavy for any bridge in Europe. To cross a river, it has to drive underwater using a giant snorkel. Only 2 prototypes were ever finished. They never fired a shot in anger. The Soviets captured them and laughed. It has symbolized the ultimate failure of the wonder weapons. It has proven that bigger is not always better. Sometimes, bigger is just a target. The war ends. The dust settles. Germany is broken, but the engineering mind doesn't die. It waits for the Cold War, and it decides to build something made of glass. But we'll address that in a future video. See the next video. Surcoat, the cruiser of the depths. Built in 1929, it was an experiment in intimidation. Before nuclear power, this was the monster. 3,300 tons of surface displacement. It carries 2 massive 8-inch naval guns. If you've made it this far, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for our channel. Tell me, which of these German tanks did you like and enjoy the most? Is there any specific armored vehicle you'd like to see in future videos? Leave it in the comments. Oh, Send us a super thanks to support our work and bring us more content, and consider subscribing to become a member of our channel to access many benefits.